Hi y'all, it's Rachel here with Scientifically Engineered, and I'm going to go ahead and do a little swatching of some of Birmingham inks, or Birmingham Pens inks. These are all 100 ml bottles. These are each a part of their Keystone formula, and one of these is an atomic ink element. So what Birmingham Pens does with these inks is they've got like a set of like core ink colors, and then the rest of the inks in their the rest of the inks that they sell is some combination of those core inks. And yeah, so I'm just going to go through some today. Most of these are warm tone. That's kind of what I was going for when I chose which inks to go ahead and swatch today. And yeah, let's just go ahead and get started. I'm using Odyssey Notebooks Cosmo Air Light paper, and I'm using a, what is this, 2.5 millimeter ornament nib from Browse. So yeah, I always like to just give, a good swatch of what it is and then the name of it. So this is, I'm actually going to go ahead and put a notebook underneath here so that it's even. There we go. Maybe I'll zoom in a little. All right, so this one's going to be Butcher's Broom. And this is a deep magenta. Or more of a brick red, actually. I would say maybe not magenta, more of a brick red. Brownish reddish color. What I like about these inks in particular is that like they're basically made to mix together. You don't feel like you're wasting too much ink because they come in 100 ml bottles, so you can continue to use them as is and then also mix them together, and you don't really feel like, oh no, I'm gonna waste all of my ink. This next one is Ceramic Kiln. And this is more of a mauve, or I don't really think that's what that color is. It's like, honestly, it's kind of like the color of sand, or I guess of pottery clay. I guess ceramic kiln, that kind of works out. It's a light, really light beige brown. And you'll see as these inks start to dry that they typically have pretty cool shading and sheen properties. And you're gonna not really, maybe, will you be able to see this? Oh no, I'll have to do it next time. A lot of these inks have a very like fluorescent highlighter color underneath them. And when you rinse off your nib in water, it looks pretty cool. This next one is Abandoned Shipyards. Another thing I really like about Birmingham Pens is they all have really cool names, all of their inks. I think they're fun. This one is a little bit more cool toned. Probably should have put this in a different group. But it's a cool toned blue, gray, green. This company is out of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania in the United States. It's two brothers, I actually think, who own it together. And I'm pretty sure they are the only two employees. I don't think they have any other employees. I think their mom helps them out because sometimes when I get shipments from them, let's see, what is this, Shipyard? When I get shipments from them, sometimes the handwritten note will be signed by, or the written note will be signed by mom. So I assume it's their mom. So this is Abandoned Shipyard. So it's pretty fun buying from them because you're really supporting like a micro business, honestly. It's just the two of them. And they come out with pretty cool inks. They used to, and they maybe will get back to it, I assume, make fountain pens as well. I'll skip that one and I'll go to iron ore. This one's iron ore. I don't think I've ever purchased a pen from them, but if I ever do, I'll let you know. But I think they turn their own pens as well occasionally. Oops. Okay. So this is iron ore. And this is more of a dark maroon, I would say. Like a gray maroon. Get that into frame. Nutmeg is here and wants attention, my cat Nutmeg. Hopefully you can see that color okay. Next we'll do ambered adobe. Hi Nutmeg. Filming a video, Nutty. Okay. Ambered adobe. This is another warm tone. This one's a bit more orange than ceramic kiln and more amber. This ink goes flying, it's because the cat jumped up here. And I'm hoping she doesn't because it's 100 mils of ink. Hopefully my head wasn't in the frame right there, sorry. Yes. These ink bottles are typically pretty well priced. They often go on sale. They'll do bundles. So a lot of these inks were in a 4 ink bundle. And they come out per mil to be really very cheap. So this ink here is one of the atomic elements I was talking about. This is Tiger Lily. So Tiger Lily is probably part of, I hope you can't hear my cat, that's crazy. Tiger Lily is a certain part of ambered adobe and ceramic kiln, I would guess, mixed with others in this atomic ink collection. So you can think of these basically like their primary colors. And this one you can kind of see on the rim, like it's fluorescent. It's got, I don't know what Birmingham has in these inks, but there's like an undertone of fluorescence. I actually do know, and I'll show you in a second, but I've never seen it before in any other ink brands where when I rinse my nib, the water turns neon yellow. So what was this one? This is Tiger Lily. This is a really beautiful color. It's a bright yellow orange. I think it would be a good sunflower color as well. And I'll go ahead and show you. I'll get a clean bottle of water so you can see it. When I clean this nib in here, it's like immediately neon yellow. And what I think is doing that maybe is they must have some pigment that makes this like neon yellow. This is Railroad Worm by them. Maybe I'll go ahead and just swatch this one as well. But Railroad Worm, as you'll see, I'll just swatch it real fast so you can see. It's really light, so I don't know if that's what they're using in their ink or what, but it's definitely very interesting. I think it's really cool. So I'll just go ahead and do this. This is like, you couldn't use this ink on its own. It's very, like, you could barely even see it, but it's on there like normal. So this is something that I would only recommend getting if you're gonna go forward with actually mixing inks, because otherwise, I mean, it's basically invisible. But it does make other inks look really neat. So yeah, you could barely see it, but it's fun for mixing with other inks. Rinse that nib. And then the last ink we'll go ahead and swatch today is Weeping Willow. And if I remember correctly, this is another green, but a little bit more warm toned. Yeah, it is. I like this color a lot. This is probably, oh no! Look at what I've done. Oh well. This is probably my favorite color out of all of these. This one or Ambered Adobe is just kind of my vibe, kind of an earthy, something you'd see in, you know, the foothills of the mountains or something. And you'll have to excuse my tiger lily now that I've made a mess of it. But as you can see, you could mix them together and get kind of a crazy color there. Just do that. All right. I'll go ahead and let these dry, and then I'll show you what they all look like once they're dry. All right, so here's what they are all looking like dry. Butcher's Broom is fairly flat, whereas Ceramic Kiln and Ambered Adobe and Weeping Willow all have pretty significant shading. You can see some sheen. I wonder if you can see it. There's a tiny bit of sheen on the outside of Iron Ore, and then Tiger Lily really has quite a bit of sheen as well. And again, Railroad Worm is not legible. It's only really for mixing. Oh, there you can see the sheen. So yeah, these are what these inks are looking like. They're very, other than Tiger Lily, pretty muted, naturey type colors. My favorite is definitely Weeping Willow. I like these yellowy green colors, and Tiger Lily and Ambered Adobe are really nice as well. So yeah, all right, thanks so much for watching, and I have a few more Birmingham Pens inks to go ahead and swatch in the coming days. Awesome, thanks.